Welcome to Pocket Women Lockpicking and Lock Sport. Today, something a bit different. We're in the lock lab. What you see before you is some stuff that you can get from the salvage yard. You have to cut it off, but then you can pick it. So this beastie, they just knocked it straight off the glass door, and there you go. Cut that sucker off, take it home. So I've got a friendly salvage yard, which everyone must have. So check them out. There's some goodies down there. Lots of stuff to practice pick with. But the reason why I've got you in here today is because I have the mother load. The mother load of post boxes. Check that out. Now that is a whole set, a complete set of early Australian post office boxes. The CA stands for Commonwealth of Australia. Beautiful brass plate for the numbers. The doors are Bakelite. And it comes as one complete unit. How about that? What a score. So let's take you inside one of these little gorgeouses. Up a little bit close so you can see what they're like. They always turn counterclockwise. Inside I've got some spare keys. You can't see in there because it's dark. It's like 5 in the morning, but it's just an empty hollow. Pops out the back there. But look at the fitting. So this is all metal. The way it attaches down the bottom. Try not to drop the iPad. Just a little slot. Wing comes out of the lock. Sits into a recess in here. And there you go. Simple little construction, but effective for so many years. They haven't changed the design much. The modern one doesn't have these wings on it. It attaches differently, but it still has this little, I guess you'd call locking pawl, and it's plastic these days. This here is plastic. So not that safe, the modern post box. They're made out of plastic. You can heat them up, melt them and open them. Show you one of the keys. They are a 7-pinner, and some of them, wow, they've got some radical bitting on them. Let's try and find you one. Check that out. How'd you be trying to pick that? Yeah, I'm not going to try. Not just yet with my level of development. I've just got a gorgeous set of picks. So I'm going to improve heaps with my picking. It's another one. Just a little piece of history that I wanted to share with you all. So I'll just pan back so you can get a better view of it. So what's going to happen with this is it's going to be my little lock keepsake. So I'm going to be having all my locks in there in the different sections of collection so that I can just go to number 10 and know that, oh, that's where my 234s are. So just take you on a little trip through my floor, take you back to the lab lock pond, hook you back up. I've got something else I want to show you. Why is it so bright? Right. It's just started to rain, but that's okay. This is my 245 collection. I've got 5 of them, plus 1 247. They're all Lockwoods, they're all vintage, and they're all in different states of repair. As in, I don't repair them. I don't pull them apart, I don't refurb them, apart from that one that I took the paint off. That's as far as I've gone with them. This one is what started it all. You know, there's always one lock that you get and you think, oh my, and it starts it all. Well, this was the one. I saw this on Gumtree and I went, wow. So I hooked up with the fella and I bought it. Pretty pricey, most expensive lock I ever bought. That's the bitting on it. Not the original key. This guy is a locky, so he was mucking around with them. And yes, it's all bent. It is a bit wonky, but it's got character, it's got history, it's lived a life. Look how beat up it is. You know that this padlock had its padlocking days. Key retaining. There we go. So that's my first ever 245. So pretty happy with that. So what I wanted to show you also is the Lockwoods and the Aggressors and these post office locks that are part of the history. So originally you had your Lockwoods. So this one says Lockwood 1. This one has no name on it. So I'm wondering if this one was much earlier than the Lockwood. This one has 67 to 68 on it. Trademark in that year. So really happy with that. Those dates are significant for me, so I was pretty to have something like that in my collection. And as you can see, only opens to the left, and it's just a fraction. Doesn't open much. It's not much to it. Only moves that far. They all come with a number at the back. But isn't that gorgeous? So after I got my first post office lock, well, you know how it is. You get more than one, you start to call it a collection. So I now have my Aussie post office box collection. So in the 80s, Agressor, which is a company that did all sorts of stuff back in the day, took over the lock boxes. This one says 86. And as you can see, it has a different retaining system for the box, but still only opens that little bit counterclockwise. Now they're all 7-pinners. Well, I thought that all post office box, that says 86, I thought all post office box locks were 7-pinners. But then I come across these little beasties. These are 5-pinners. Yep, this one's seen its day. It's done its job. Here's another. Now with the Australian Post Office box, well, post office system, we have the corporate post office box, the corporate post office, which is Australia Post, and then we have those subsidiaries which are community post offices, which are Post Office Australia Post, but owned by community, like a business. So you buy yourself an Australia Post office, you then own all the post office boxes and everything within, and then from there you can decommission your stuff and then give it away to people like me. So with these post office box locks and the mother load of post office boxes you've just seen, they've come from a decommissioned post office that was a community post office, and all those locks and boxes were decommissioned. They must be decommissioned, otherwise you are breaking national laws by having them, owning them, working on them, doing all that sort of stuff. You must have Australia Post permission to do that. Now normally when they decommission post office boxes, when they refurb a post office and rip out everything and pour all the new stuff back in, all the stuff goes to a major warehouse and they just store it for spare parts for later on. And people like you and me, we don't get to see it, we don't get to touch it, let alone own it. But get hold of a community post office, that's one that's individually owned, and you too can get hold of some post office box locks. Become friendly, you got to be nice, can't just rock up and say give me everything you've got. So what I also do is I label my stuff now when I get it, because I find that I can't remember where I got it from, how much I paid for it, what it's about. So what I do is I label everything. So I know how much I paid for it, where I got it from, what the specs are on it, shackle size, all that, so that when I come to talk to you people, give you a bit of a show and tell, I've got some information at my fingertips, so I'm not wondering what I'm going to say. So that's all I wanted to show for you today. Thanks for joining me. This is my 245 collection, my post office box collection. Thanks for watching. Take care. Stay legal. Temptation is everywhere.